You're watching F5. We are here at AppWorld 2025 at the Fontainebleau in Las Vegas. We're in this interesting area here, which is the community area. So we've got user experience, F5 insiders, the DevCentral community, we have the NGINX community as well. And actually, coincidentally, I got Jason with me here. Jason, can I get you to introduce yourself?
Yep. Yeah, hey everybody, my name is Jason Williams. I'm the technical product manager for F5 AI Gateway. So just announced yesterday as our GA release.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And why I say it's a coincidence is because you have the NGINX background and moved into this role here to work on AI Gateway.
Yeah, that's correct. I started with NGINX, and I actually moved over from the NGINX English Controller Squad as the technical product manager to F5 AI Gateway this past summer. So very exciting times ahead of us. So.
Awesome. Okay, so you did mention that this is an announcement that we just made, this AI Gateway. It's been in early access for a while, and we've kind of put a little bit of stuff out there, but
we did.
Now that we're fully out there, going to give us a rundown on what this thing is.
Yeah, so with the explosion of AI and the applications out there, AI Gateway is going to be that security piece that allows you to secure your Gen AI applications and give you those protections as well as those visibility pieces to know where your apps are, where they're going, but also provide protections like prompt injection, prompt identification, so you can find out what's coming in and where is it going. So, and then you can take action on that to decide what do you want to allow it through, or which LLM do you want to route that request to. So, yeah, a lot of excitement about that. A lot of questions about how this product can help them in their enterprise environments.
Yeah. This sounds like a very F5 NGINX thing to do.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense for the other. So, and the customers are asking for us. So, yeah, it's a great place to be right now.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's awesome. So, okay, so you kind of touched at high level on where it sits. Maybe you can walk us through, like, what's a basic architecture? What can people expect to already have in place, and then they insert this in?
Exactly right, yeah. So we're going to be part of the data plane path, right? Okay. So we're going to sit behind like an existing data product like NGINX or Big IP. We want to sit between your application and your LLM. So we want to be able to inspect the AI-specific traffic that's coming in. So if you look at like a sample data flow, a user would be interacting with, say, a chatbot or AI assistant. That request would go through the proxy in front of us that would do its traditional layer 7 API, rate limiting and your WAF technology, and then the AI specific traffic would then be sent to AI Gateway, where we can inspect those prompts, apply protections, enhancements, and then route those requests to the LLMs that you deem that you will allow those applications to access, whether those LLMs are on premise or in a cloud or a combination of both. We'll route the request based on how you configure AI Gateway. So, and from an architecture-wise, it's software, it's container-based, and it's meant to be running in Kubernetes because that's where the majority of AI workloads are running. So, being closer to those workloads made a lot of sense. We made the decision to go forward with that path. So,
yeah, that's cool. I think part of that too is you guys already addressing the fact that people aren't just using one model.
Correct.
Out there. There's different reasons to use different models. You guys are supporting that?
We do, yeah. I mean, we support, a combination of, you can have your own like LLMs that are in your internal. You can use the ones out in the cloud or a hybrid approach. So, and it's an important piece because you may want to route specific traffic to your internal LLM because maybe it's trained on a certain data set that's applicable to how your chatbot is interacting with that. So you want to make sure that request only goes to that particular LLM and not one in the cloud, for example. So.
I can see that being interesting for things like employee access, right?
Yeah.
Like you have a public site, even SharePoint. I think of SharePoint, we use SharePoint, you have like your maybe public aspects of SharePoint that you might use or publish out there. Maybe you're working with contractors and you have your employee access that gets to a bit more stuff. Yeah,
exactly right. So being able to control where those requests goes is a very important piece with your Gen AI application. So you don't want to accidentally send, say, sensitive company information out to a public LLM, right? So if you use AI Gateway, we can ensure that if you do, you can redact or block that request before it does make it out to, say, the wrong LLM or a cloud provided LLM, for example.
Yeah. So there was a lab that you've been doing this week or giving this week. I went through the lab as well, and what I noticed, one of those use cases was language as well. And I didn't even realize this because typical, maybe North American, or at least Canada, US, take for granted that a lot of stuff is very English-based.
Yes.
And a lot of the internet is English. There's all the other languages out there, but that means all these LLMs that are being trained you're way better at English than they are at other languages.
Yeah, that's a good point because I think that really highlights to some of the real strong capabilities that AI Gateway can provide for you is that we can inspect the prompt and we can identify and detect the language, and to your point, you may want to route a certain language to a specific model that's trained in that language. So you can use that with AI Gateway to ensure that if the request comes in and whatever it may be, it goes to the model that's trained that in that language to give you the best result. So, and that's very unique to what AI Gateway does, is that it actually inspects the actual prompt itself, makes a decision, and then routes accordingly.
And also kind of true to the F5 form as well as extensibility. So you guys have like the concept of core and processor.
Yeah.
Maybe we could talk to that.
That was a design decision we made. We wanted to make it kind of a pluggable type approach. And so we have two pieces. We have what is the core, which is going to be, it accepts your incoming requests and then builds your profiles to you configure what to do with that request. And the second half of that are these processors. And the processors are what we call AI middleware. And they're going to be doing the inspection of those prompts and apply your protections, enhancements. So things like language identification, that's a process, or prompt injection. We can actually send those requests through those processors, do our checks, verifications before we send it to the LLM. So for example, if you're if you in your profile you're using prompt injection, we want to check that incoming request, make sure there's no threat in there, and if there is, we can reject it outright and not make it to the LLM. So a big part of it in the data path and architecture, we designed it because we designed it to be flexible, light, and pluggable. So with those processors. And the last thing I'll say is that we have a software development kit that allows you to create your own processors, because there's unlimited number of use cases where you could do for specific verticals, finance, healthcare, for example. You want to create your own that's specific to your environment, and you can do that, and then you can just plug that processor right into AI Gateway.
Oh, that's awesome. And so, okay, we have iRules, NGINX side, we have Lua. What does this look like for AI Gateway?
Yeah, so right now the SDK is built in Python, so that's going to be our first language we're going to be supporting, because Python is pretty synonymous with AI in general. But we're exploring other languages as well that we're going to take feedback from customers in the community to find out what's the next step to develop from an SDK that seems to be in high demand. But Python will be our first one that we'll release soon. So
very cool. Good thing I took a 6-week crash course on Python in December. 6 weeks, and I finished it in a couple weeks actually.
Awesome.
But I'm prepped and ready to go.
Cool.
Probably won't be a great processor, but
I'll look forward to the first
do my
one.
best. Yeah. Don't look at 1.0 for mine.
Yeah.
But you guys went GA, so you guys are at 1.0.
We're at 1.0. Yeah, we did. Yeah, so it was a pretty big accomplishment and a great work by the entire team. We put a lot of hard work, long days effort, but yeah, it's a great accomplishment for the team. So.
Awesome. Okay, so for people who want to check this out, I know the people here get to see the lab and do the lab, but everybody else, where are they going to go to be able to first investigate this, but also be able to kick the tires one day? Yeah,
so go right to the F5 web page itself, which should have a product section for AI Gateway that's going to overview the details, explain what it is, how it works, and how, where it fits your environment. And then if you want to start kicking the tires and testing it, you can actually work with your F5 team, and they can start get access to the software, and then you can deploy in your environment and kick the tires and take it for a ride.
Fantastic. So, all right, cool. Well, thank you very much, Jason, for walking me through that. Thank you for checking out this video. Make sure you follow along on LinkedIn, on X, on Facebook, and on YouTube as well. Leave comments if you have any questions, and otherwise we will see you on the next one. Bye now.
Thank you very much.